Hello there, welcome to the CPMAI exam introduction session. In this session, here is what we will cover. First, we will look at what is the CPMAI is and why is it needed in today's AI era, and also how it can help you in your role. Next, we will go through the exam pattern, its scope, and the mode of delivery. Then we will focus on how to prepare, the study roadmap, and practical ways to strengthen your preparation. Finally, we will wrap up with the few FAQs to clear common doubts. Let's get started. So what is CPMAI and why is it required? CPMAI is a framework for managing AI and ML projects. This is a kind of a vendor neutral iterative methodology. That means CPMAI project management roadmap remains unchanged if you or your company decided to migrate your existing AI models from one provider to another. Now let's take a pause and ask, why do we even need this CPMAI? The answer lies in the fact that AI projects are fundamentally different from traditional ones. In traditional projects, even when handled in agile, are scope to deliver production outcomes within a fixed time frame. Once they go live, the team usually shift it into a support mode, or the L1 L2 support team will start taking care of that. But AI projects don't work that way. They require an iterative approach to continuously evaluate whether the model is working properly or not in production. That's a big departure from the standard agile. And the second one is kind of a AI projects are also kind of a data heavy, managing pipelines, preparing data sets, and then training, tuning, all these kind of are kind of a not just a side activities. They are a kind of a core deliverables. That's why CPMAI incorporate principles of CRISP DM, the classic data project management framework. But CRISP DM alone isn't enough because it's largely sequential, but AI demands kind of iterations. Finally, there is a third pillar, that's trustworthy AI. This ensures that the AI solution don't just function but also abide by the governance policies and ethical standards. It covers aspects like transparency, fairness, accountability, all of which are kind of essential if AI system are to be adopted responsibly. So CPM AI is really a blend of three things. One is agile for adaptability, crisp DM for data disciplines, and trustworthy AI for governance. Together, they form a methodology designed specifically for a variety of AI projects. CPM AI certification is most suitable for professionals who are going to lead AI project initiatives. That means project managers, program managers, agile leaders, and others who are responsible for driving AI work in their organization. If you are in a role where you need to bridge the gap between the business goals, technical team, and AI delivery, then CPM AI gives you the framework to do it effectively. Think of it kind of a toolkit for leaders who want to make sure that AI projects don't just get built, but actually succeed. Now let's see what are the outcomes of this course and certifications. Post this course, you will be able to frame an AI business problem, judge AI feasibility, manage data and model related work, evaluate the output of results honestly, and also operationalize these AI solutions responsibly. That means embedding the trustworthy AI in all phases of the AI project lifecycle. So, what is the significance of CPMAI? Recent industry research indicates that nearly 75% of AI projects are failing, and major causes identified are like selecting the wrong problem for AI solutions, inability to manage complex data requirements, and limited adoption by users and enterprise teams. And there were many more as well. So CPM AI is the discipline that prevents those failures. This was a quick introduction about CPM AI, and now we look into its exam format. When it comes to the CPM AI exam, most of the questions you will face are scenario based. So questions are designed to test your ability to make the right decisions, which ensures an AI project should succeed. You won't see any programming tasks or logic change questions. The focus here is on the project management and applied judgment. That means there is no direct questions asking you to logic or the coding questions. So expect judgment-based questions that are firmly grounded in the CPMAI methodology. They will often ask you to make decisions around ordering steps, weighing trade-offs, determining what comes next in the process, and also applying the principles of trustworthy AI. The goal is to test how well you can think through the real project scenarios, not just recalling these definitions. Also, upcoming modules, the exam strategy, drills the question style and the common traps in detail, which will help to see you at the later stage. Now, the exam itself has total of 120 questions. Out of those 120 questions, 100 are scored. That means those are the ones that counts towards your final result. The remaining 20 are unscored pilot questions that PMI uses to test future exam items. You won't know which ones are scored and which one aren't, so treat every question with equal seriousness. You will have total 160 minutes there. That's 2 hours and 40 minutes to complete the exam. There are no breaks and you cannot pause it midway. So it's important to practice sitting through all full stretch to build that exam stamina. You can leverage my CPMAI practice exam, which practice precisely replicate the official PMI testing environment. Make sure you get used to the strike through and highlighting tools as well, which will help you to manage the time effectively. The content outline is divided into 5 domains and 6 phases. Preparation should be done domain wise rather than phase wise because scoring is aligned to domains, which we will see in the next slide. Finally, when it comes to the taking the exam, you have two options. You can opt for in-person or online exam mode. Detailed instruction on availability checks and readiness requirements are provided directly in the PMI site. And this link of scheduling will be enabled once you complete your course, which is given by PMI. Additional information on exam format is available in the FAQ sections at the end of this video. Now let's see how the questions are distributed across the domain. So exam content outline has 5 domains and course material provided by CPM have 6 phases. The domains are kind of identify business needs and solutions, data readiness, model creation, evaluation, and operationalization. And there is a common domain which will cut across all the remaining domains. That's a trustworthy AI. And the phases are business understanding, data preparation, model development, evaluation, and operationalization. According to the PMI CPMAI exam structure, each domain carries a specific weight as you see in this slide, and the number of questions you receive will be proportional to that weight as displayed here. So domain 2 and 3, if you see here, carries a weightage of 26% each. So focus more on these two. And domain 5, model operationalization carries 17%, model domain 4 carries 16%, and trustworthy AI carries almost 15% of the weightage. The data and business brought together half of the exam, as I mentioned earlier. So make sure you understand these content and practice questions on that. And trustworthy AI is woven through every domain. So questions related to this will appear in all the other domains as well as in the its own domain as well. So never skip this session. Next, we will see how does the roadmap of this course looks like. So before we get into the roadmap, let me quickly give you the how I structured my course. And along with this course, you will have additional benefits also. You will get a kind of a daily 30 minutes live seeker, 30 minutes interactive live online session with me. These sessions are designed to clarify course content and provide direct support for your learning journey. That means you will be getting a meeting link at the to your registered email ID where we will be connecting on that. And the second one is 24 bar 7 access to the CPM AI contextualized virtual assistant available at any time for you to answer your queries, questions related to the CPM AI material. And third one is Reddit community engagement. You can post your questions or request for clarification in the forums and we will respond to them. Participants can also access my CPMA AI practice exam, which precisely replicates the official PMI testing environment. It features identical functionalities, including strike through and highlighting tools, and enforces the standard 160-minute time limit. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn for any further discussion, clarifications. And this training is structured to provide not only the knowledge but also continuous support and collaboration, ensuring you are well prepared for the success. Let's look into the preparation roadmap. I have structured this course in a way that follows a logical flow and aligns with the exam content outline also. We will begin with the fundamental section, which I call it as Module 0. This will help everyone to get comfortable with the shared vocabulary around AI. The 7 agile patterns, the 6 phases, and the core agile concept, all these will be covered over here. It sets the stage so we are all speaking the same language before we dive deeper. From here, we move on to the module 1, which covers domain 1, the trustworthy AI concept. This is a cross-cutting layer that includes governance, responsibility, ethics, explainability, and transparency. For example, we'll talk about importance of keeping human in the loop, adding to compliance requirement like GDPR, CCPA, and depending on the different region, how it is differing from one region to another. And also designing the AI solutions that are simple enough for the end user to interpret and contest whenever needed. Next, we will explore domain 2, the business needs. Here we will learn how to frame the right problem, assess AI feasibility, build a business case with return on investment details, and define the scope and form the right team. After that comes the domain 3, the data needs, which covers both the data understanding and data preparation. The focus here is on defining the data source, assessing the and preparing this data, and ensuring the a proper data lineage is maintained. And then we'll move on to the domain 4, model development and evaluation. This is where the finalizing the choice of algorithm and learning the techniques of training models and tuning it, evaluating it honestly, and making sure that it meets the intended business goal. All this will happen in this model development and evaluation domain 4. Finally, the domain 5, operationalization, we will look at how to deploy this model, monitor this, and govern it into production, plan for handoffs, and also even prepare for the potential failures scenarios. At the end of this course, we will wrap up with the exam strategy. This will include understanding question styles, recognizing common traps, managing your time effectively, eliminating incorrect answers, and optimizing your approaches to succeed in the exam. Okay, in this course material, you will notice a marker showing on the slides. These markers are there to help you quickly see whether a topic is directly aligned to the ECO, exam content outline, or not. Think of them as a kind of cues. They will save you time and make it easier for you to focus on what is exam critical versus what is the background context. Okay, let's take a moment to summarize how you should prepare for the CPMAI exam. We will begin by building a strong foundation layer. This is where you establish a common vocabulary so that it's aligned on the CPMAI concept. Once that base is in place, you should move deeper into each domain, aligning with the exam content outline, identifying the key enablers, and supplementing with additional material to ensure you have a robust understanding. After that, we should practice with the realistic questions. These will help you to get familiarized with the kind of exam patterns and the way the scenarios are presented. Finally, you should spend time on exam strategy, looking at how to recognize question style, avoid common traps, eliminate incorrect options, and manage your time effectively. This flow ensures you are not just memorizing the content but actually preparing to apply the methodology in a way that sets you up for your success in the exam. Now let's look at some of the FAQs raised by the exam aspirants. These FAQs are designed to clear up common doubts about the exam formats and the preparation. If you have additional questions, feel free to share them. You can drop a comment here or post them in a CPMAI Exam Prep community on Reddit, where I will respond and clarify them. Okay, let's look into the FAQs. How can CPMAI certification help me, or is it relevant? Okay, for me, it was much more helpful when I started to take the CPMAIexamPrep.com to the production. So it gave me an idea of what are all items should be there in a AI project when we are going to productionalize. Now, for the organization who are heavily investing in AI solutions, this could be kind of a governance framework. You can leverage it as a governance framework where it will include all the trustworthy AI concepts. And also, it will give you not to just go with the POC, but focus on MVP aspects. So many concepts you can leverage from here based on your needs. And for individual, if your organization is heavily investing in these kind of AI solutions, definitely you can add value during those discussions and how to make sure the AI project sets up for the success. Next, how long does it take to prepare for CPMAI? Many candidates mention it's 6 to 8 weeks, but our course which we have curated, especially focusing on ECO, will make sure you are ready for the exam in 3 to 4 weeks. How difficult is CPMAI exam compared to the PMP? I felt it as a kind of a somewhat easier than PMP, but I still see many people are posting in Reddit and even LinkedIn that they could not able to clear in first attempt. So you could understand its difficulty level. It's not that easy, but it's not that tough as PMP as well. You need to understand the AI concept more than the PMP concepts here. All right. So next question: what type of questions appear in the real exam? I think we touch base this in our earlier sections. Scenario-based project management questions and AI/ML related questions, and also we'll be having a lot of trustworthy concept. All those will be a mix of this, and there is no direct question like definition. What is crisp DM? Those kind of questions will not be there. It's more on by leveraging the crisp DM. What are all the challenges you face, and with that challenge, which one will you choose to make sure AI succeed? That kind of the questions will be there. All right. So next question: do I need technical AI knowledge to pass? I would say you still need to understand what are the different algorithm or different AI options are there in the industry. What are the different patterns are we going to solve, and also how the data will be curated, how the data lineage will be built, and also scaffolding of the all the AI models itself, right? All the AI solutions, everything, how is it built? At least you should have the birds view or understanding of that. Without that, you will not be able to speak the language the developer or the technology team will be using. So at least a knowledge about how the solutions are built, what are all essential for that, that level of requirement or the knowledge is required. What are the biggest challenge in the exam? So common concerns are like selecting all that apply. That was most confusing part for me. And very similar choices. Out of four, two options you can easily eliminate, but two will be very close to each other. So that's one of the trick you may need to use. Use the strike through or whatever the gut feeling first you get right. Go with that. And there's the understanding of PMI style wordings. Though basically many times to increase the ambiguity, the PMI adds additional layer of some one or two sentences in between. So you need to make sure how to filter that out. And remembering the CPM AI exam content outlines. In some cases, I saw that one or two wordings were exactly similar to the enablers of the ECO. All right. So next question is, can a AI tool like ChatGPT or Gemini help in CPM AI preparation? Absolutely. AI tools can be very helpful. Even I have leveraged it during my preparation. Only one challenge I saw was if I give a tricky question to Gemini or Copilot and other LLM, all three will give me a different answer based on their understanding, their knowledge. And they are not up to date, they're not having the up to date knowledge. Even if I give them my own kind of a notes which I have made, they were not able to relate back to what is the exact answer because the note was very vast and there were different examples in which the scenarios or the kind of a concept were written. So I would say you make it more contextualized, test it before you directly use it with your data, or you can leverage the chart which I have created, which is already there, contextualize with the all the notes and the content what I have got from the PMI. And the next is what study strategy works best. Well, so first thing is to complete CPMAI course. That's mandatory for you to go and schedule the exam. So without that, you cannot go and schedule the exam. You have to complete that and understand the ECOs and the scope of each phase thoroughly. And make sure you make your small notes, kind of a flyers or cards, which will make sure you understand the concept and what is the highlight of that. And most importantly, taking the realistic mock exams and review explanation of reasoning behind those questions. That will help you a lot to eliminate the answers. Next one is what is the cost of CPMAI certification. So for the PMI non-members, it's around $612, and for PMI members, it's around 476 USDs. What happens if you don't clear the exam on your first attempt? So PMI will allow you to take the exam again. That's a total 3 attempts you can take in a year, and there should be a 1 month of gap between each exam. Okay. How important are mock exam and practice questions? Yeah, so this was a kind of a game changer for me. I need to whatever I have practiced from ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. Definitely, they were really helpful. They helped me to create a different kind of questions and add the ambiguity and make me prepare so that in the exam day, right, I could able to easily manage which are the items I should focus on and which are item I should filter out. Yeah, so it's a much more recommended one. Okay, let's look into the last question. How the CPMAI online exam works. Okay, there are two requirements for this. One is system requirements. That means you should have your system which have webcam enabled, microphone enabled, speakers enabled, and then it should be Windows above 10 or OS, Mac OS above 14 and all, and definitely stable internet, 6 Mbps and 2 Mbps is required. And also they will not allow you to use keyboards or dual monitors, even mouse also you need to get permission from the proctor. Now from the environment perspective, you should sit in a closed room, a private room, and there's no interruption from other family members. And desk must be very clean. There is no phone which is on the desk or near to your arm reach. And also you will be getting monitored through webcam and microphone. Proctor will check your ID card and they will allow you to take the exam if there are no signs of any cheating or any other malpractices. All right. I wish all the best for your CPMAI exam and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you.